What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is Asa Studio. Today I'm going to be showing you how to retouch your portrait or your images in Photoshop. So the objective of this video is to show you how to use frequency separation and also use hue and saturation to correct the color, and also show you how to color grade. All right, so let's get started. First things first, try to know what you want to fix in the photo. So if you zoom in, you can actually see that there are variations in skin color. Different places have different skin colors, not uniform, and also there are blemishes around the mouth and a nose, and also we want to color grade, very important. So before that, let's fix the first one, which is actually difference in skin color. So we are going to apply the hue and saturation adjustment layer and pick up the N2 and select where we want the color. It is very important for you to know how the real color of the skin. So let's zoom out, and you can see that it's actually like this, the color below, and not this one difference. We have red here, we have yellows, we have green around some places. Okay, so I'm quickly gonna fix that and make it look like that of the neck. Okay, so now pick a place that's actually red. You can see that red is selected. You can zoom in and take the slider all the way up and move the slider backwards till we select those parts that's actually red. So I have it like this. You can see that most of the neck is not selected. That's because that's where the real place we selected is correct. All right, so turn this one back to 0 and then adjust the slider. Take it all the way up like so. It's very important you zoom out to see what you're doing. So you can see the red. You can see now that this is actually okay the way it is. I'm going to close that and create another one, which is another hue and saturation. And what I want to do, I want to select this part that's not saturated, okay, which is this one. So I'm going to click it and it's actually red. We can take it all the way up and move the slider to select the place it's actually existing. So somewhere around here should be okay. Now I'm going to turn it back to 0 and also increase to fix that right there. So somewhere around here, I'm going to hit the close button. So we have to group these two together and turn it on and off, so you can see how we're able to fix that. We can create a group and also a mask layer and paint with the brush tool. I want to remove it from some certain places, so let's zoom in and remove from the lips, just like so. I'm going to remove it from the lips. I'm going to remove it from the eyes. So something like this. Remove from the eyes. And better still, I think we're good with that. We can actually remove it from the shadows of the nose. Okay, so since we have this, a little correction, we can create a stem visible layer and then run the frequency separation action. So this is my frequency separation action. I showed you how to create a frequency separation action. Okay, so I'm going to play it and then we're going to choose where to blow. So let's see. I'm just going to blow it just a little. Let's take it all the way down, and that's too much just to blow. Okay, I think this is actually okay for me. I'm going to click OK and the rest will be done by itself. Okay, so let's turn this off and turn this on and see. So this and this. Okay, so since we have our frequency separation, we'll get rid of this one now. Take it to the bottom and we have the frequency separation. So now select the color layer. The mixer tool brush is already selected for you with your frequency separation, and we can start mixing the colors, setting your brush to whatever you see on top, and I just keep brushing around like this to blend the colors together. And one thing to note is, please don't try and blend the highlight, because it's just going to make your image look flat. Yeah, it's going to make your image look flat. So I'm going to pause the video, and when I'm done with this, we'll continue with what we're doing. Okay, so I blended the skin, and you can close this, go to the texture, and then go to your clone stamp tool. And I'm going to just quickly do this, hold and alt, sample a place, and just, you know, dab over those places, something like that. And I'm just going to do that for all the blemishes I have around. Zoom in, zoom out, so you can quickly just cover it off. For the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to be fast with this one and just cover those blemishes up. Alright, so for black places like this, you can also do the same. Pick somewhere and, you know, fix it around. So one good thing about this, I can see some black here and some white places that are not saturated, so we can actually create, after we're done, I think we're done. Okay, let's just fix a little, go back to the texture and just fix a little what we see. Okay, I think we're done. Now we can actually create a stem visible layer again for that, and go to your hue and saturation, and I'm going to pick this part of this part. So let's use our N tool and, you know, pick that part, increase, whichever you want to do, and you can actually swipe till you get that place selected. But if you can't get the place selected, you can actually just, you know, resect, and after resecting, you can do it manually, but I don't want to go through that process. You can see that some places are not saturated, so we can go delete and go to select color range. So let's see that color range. Yeah, I think selected. We can add, hold and shift and add some places to it, places like this. You can add some places like this to it and decrease the fuzziness a bit. I'm going to add somewhere like this to it and click on OK. So after that, go to hue and saturation. From the hue and saturation, same thing, increase it and see if it's actually selected. I think it is. So now I'm going to click on 0 and let's increase the saturation. You can see how amazing that looks now. Very uniform, unlike before. Take a look at the take a close look at the eyes. So before, you can see this place not saturated, and now it's actually saturated. Although not all the place is selected, so we can use the brush tool and just, you know, with foreground color white, and we can add those places to it like so, and add these places to it, those places that were not added. Okay, you can zoom in and add most places to it, not there, just below the chin, and the rest. I think we're done with that. Okay, so another one, create a stem visible layer, and this time around I think we just want to color grade, so go to color balance, or we can actually just use the camera raw filter to do that. So let's go to filter, camera raw filter. So here we are in camera raw filter. I'm just going to hit the, let's try out the white balance and let's see what we have. Okay, so I think I prefer the before look, and just increase the exposure sorry, not the exposure, the highlight, where I want to, that's what I want to say, the highlight a little bit, and also bring back the whites. We can increase the shadows just a bit, and I like taking back the blacks sometimes just to get some dark details. We can increase the texture, but just what we want to do is the color grading. All right, so let's go. This highlights too much, so bring it back a bit. Now I can close this and go to the curves, trying to enhance the photo just a little dark, and I'm good with that. You can take it all the way up if you want, so you can see before, just a little bit. Change color mixer, yeah, that's what we're going to. Now for the color mixer, we want the saturation of the red, which leaves, I want it out more, something like that, and the yellows, take it towards, okay, yeah, in the hue and saturation, with the hue and saturation, the yellows, take it towards the orange, and the orange should be the same, just like that. Then let's give more saturation to the orange, something like this. And what we need to do on the background, we can work on the saturation of the blues and the purples to get it there. Go to the purples and let's make it looks more like the blues, like this. I think we're done. So now we go to the calibration, and I like taking this forward just because it adds, I think that's even enough, but let's work with the blues and see how awesome it's going to look too. The greens, let's take it back a little, and the greens follow the red, and to get a nice looking image. Okay, so I think we can actually bring this back a little, +8, and the blues, let's leave it at minus, let's turn it up and on, off and on. Okay, so you can see, but I think we lost the red in the leaves. Okay, so just click on OK when you're done, like so. So you can see before and then after, before and then after. So if you want to bring back the red in the lips, you can go to hue and saturation and maybe change the hue and increase it a little bit, and now we can actually invert the mask and pick up brush tool and paint on the lips to get the red lips back we lost. Okay, so something like this, and if that's too much, you can decrease the fill or the opacity of it. So now that's our correction for the skin. You can also add some little color balance and go to the midtones to add some color grading. Okay, so let's take this backwards and take this forward just a bit, and you can see how it actually add depth. Go to the highlight, same thing, let's put in some magenta, go put in some cyan and some yellows, go to the midtones, and we can add some green just like that, just a little details for color grading. You can bring this back a little bit, and guess we're done with the color grading. So it will be quite noticeable, so you can see, just add a little depth to it. I zoom in, you can see just the way it adds some rich color grading. All right, so if you enjoyed the video, if you learn one or two things, like the video, share the video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe See you in the next video. Thank you for staying with us. Once again, this is ASAS.